Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to give you guys the digitally digested segment for the LensPen Sensor Klear Loupe Kit. Now, of course, there are many different ways to approach cleaning your sensor on your respective digital SLR, or in my case, the NEX7, which doesn't have any mirrors, but is still, dependent upon a very large sensor that does get dirty when swapping lenses like any other SLR on the market. So in comes this kit. Essentially what you get here for a retail price of $79.99, but of course can be found for less, more like in the $30 to $40 range, is a hurricane blower, which is critical for any photographer out there if you want to be able to clean a sensor easily. In most cases, a blower like this will do the job. So good that they included that. Kudos, makes sense. You then, of course, get their patented LensPen, which has an articulating head, which is designed, of course, exclusively to clean, especially in this system. But of course, you can purchase this on its own. It's got that microfiber tip, no fluid solution there, so no re-wetting necessary, and really does a very nice job. So far, two pieces that really make a lot of sense. And then in comes what makes this unique: your actual Sensor Klear Loupe, which essentially mimics the shape of a lens. As you can see, I pull off the bottom cap there, and you basically have some LED lights as well as some ridges to accommodate all different SLRs, digital SLRs. Your power switch for the lighting system, which is relatively effective, not the best in the world. This is not, by the way, made incredibly well, but for the price point, I think it's certainly acceptable, considering, as I mentioned before, you can find this for $30 to $40. And pieces like the blower as well as the pen itself range from anywhere to $7 to $15 individually. Forget trying to pick this up. So basically you pull off this lid here, and what you have is a magnifying glass with a slot and lighting to permit you to actually see what you're attempting to clean off of your off of your sensor. Seems great on paper, and that's why I picked it up, because even though there are things like liquid cleaning solutions that are far more invasive than an approach like this, and they are more effective, they also have far more potentiality to damage the sensor in the event that you are simply not qualified or have a shaky hand, whatever it may be. If you don't want to take the risk, it's always best to let a professional clean your sensor. But in the event that you do want to venture out into experimenting with cleaning it on your own, this is clearly a far less dangerous way, in my opinion, than a wet solution. So back to whether or not this works. Again, the LensPen itself, great. The blower, well, it's a blower. It does its job. But this system becomes problematic, not with digital SLRs, but with my NEX7 I did have a problem. And that is because despite these grooves to make it a universal fit for all different cameras, I simply could not get enough room, enough leverage in order to get this LensPen, despite its articulating head, actually in a position to clean any of the sensor without having to lift up this entire loupe kit. As a result, things were no longer in focus through here, and really it ended up serving no purpose. I did have some lighting. Occasionally I would get things in focus, but it really ended up being a hit or miss system. So the bottom line with this kit is that I love the concept. It's not made incredibly well, but for the price, it certainly is what I expected. The only issue, of course, I have is that I really can't use it with the NEX7, and I'm one of those people who would be better off just buying these individually, even though the value is in this entire package. However, if you are purchasing this for a traditional digital SLR, like I know I used it for my A700, then it does work beautifully. It also does come with a little pouch to carry the whole kit in, and believe it or not, the entire kit does fit in the pouch, except for, of course, this. That's not going to make it in there. But overall, really like the kit, like the approach. Price is right. If you're looking for a cleaning system and you're wary about breaking your sensor, then really you should be sending it out. But if you do want to venture into the realm of self-cleaning, this is definitely one of the best ways to go. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.